everybody. Troy and Trevor from So Tell Us Time coming at you from the great state of Arizona.
You just like switched halfway
I totally switched. It's the Irish in me. I can't help it. It's the Irish.
I hope you don't offend anybody with your terrible accent.
Whatever. They're probably offended by my American accent. They're
Could
like,
be. Who knows?
You sound terrible. Coming at you from the great state of Arizona, where everybody wants to live, but not everybody can handle our awesome gun laws. That's right. All right, everybody. Today, we're going to be talking about something that's very important. It is the end of the year. Officially, Christmas is over. We're getting ready for the new year. And that's exciting. I mean, it's so fun because once October hits, it's just crazy. I'm like, once October hits, I feel like the year's over.
Yeah.
Because it's like you've got Halloween, and then you've got Thanksgiving. Yeah. And then you've got Christmas, and then you got New Year, and then bam. It's a new year. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. New Year's Eve, right? So it feels like a lot of partying kind of all at once, which is actually a breath of fresh air, I feel like, at the end of the year. It's nice. It's nice. Also kind of gets me to kick my butt into gear. I'm like, oh my gosh, we got to get some crap done, you know? And so today, in this New Year's Eve, because we might have a New Year's resolution one, but this one is New Year's Eve. So Tell Us Time, we're going to be talking about something that you should be focusing on this whole next year. This is not just like, hey, for 1 month, 2 month, 3 month type thing. This is for the year, okay? We're going to be talking about consistency is key. Consistency, my friends. Not flimsiness, not, you know, jump from here to there to there to everywhere. No, consistency. Consistency will continue to help you grow as long as you are consistently doing the right things. Right, exactly. Focusing where it should be. But one big mistake that business owners often make is being too quick to change course. Now, there's a time and a place for changing course quickly. But the problem is people will test things out and their test is way too short. Yeah. And so they go, oh man, that didn't work. That was terrible. I'm never going to do that. Or they're like, oh man, that worked. And then the next month, because here's the thing is 1 month can be better with certain things than another month. And that's why it's important to have the consistency and to really get this going. So they start something new in their business and they quit before it ever has time to mature and, you know, really become profitable, right? So we're going to give some examples of where you need to be consistent in your business. And then we'll share a little story about one of our clients who has not been consistent and it's really hurt them. And we'll share how we have been consistent with things and it pays off. It may look bad 1 or 2 months or, you know, whatever that is, but consistently over the year, it looks really good. So Troy, go ahead, jump in.
Yeah. So the first area we're going to talk about today is marketing, of course. You know, we want to talk, we're going to talk about how, you know, we'll give an example from our business first. You know, but you really need to be consistent in your marketing. If you are not consistent, you are never going to know what really works and what doesn't work. Correct. So one of the things that that we've done is everyone knows that we do pay-per-click and we do it for our business. Yeah. And we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on our PPC. And, but we knew when we started doing it that we couldn't just try it for a couple of weeks or a month and then make a decision on whether it was going to work or not.
And this drove Troy crazy.
Yes.
Because Troy does not like to waste money or feel like we're wasting money. And neither do I. Right. But it hits Troy a little bit harder. And so we tell our clients, PPC, if we're going to do it for them or something like that, then we tell them, it's a minimum of 3 months. Yeah. Because it's like how Google works. I won't get in the whole thing. I mean, but, I mean, how they work is they take they're slow to implement things. So you make changes, and this is a big problem that people make. They'll make a lot of changes, and they never give Google enough time to implement those changes. And then they're making more changes and more changes. So nothing ever actually takes. Yeah. Okay. And so you have month 1, you've got to set it up. You got to create the campaigns and the ads and do all of that. Month 2, you're going to be making some adjustments and watching and giving it time to take hold. And then we say month 3, it really starts to kick in. But that's hard to do, especially like when you spend as much as we do. We spend a lot of money on PPC. So to see that money go out and to feel like, oh, that was, that wasn't that profitable, or, oh, that we even went in the hole on that one, or, well, yeah, that just wasn't, as good as we hoped it would be. It's a hard thing to do. And then especially over time, you have your ups and downs.
Exactly.
Really.
And what we did is we committed that we were going to run it for a full year.
Yeah.
And we were going to get.
And I kept having to tell you that. I kept having to say, no, Troy, remember, we're looking for the longevity.
Sure. And because we needed to get the data, because we knew that it's not every single day and every single month is not the same.
Correct.
Right. So, before we could make a decision on whether, we would keep doing it or not, we needed to have enough data. So, because we knew a couple of things. Results were going to vary by month.
Yep.
Because of, seasonality.
Mm-hmm.
There's good times, there's bad times in your business cycle. You've got, like, for example, the first year for us, like first of year excitement. Mm-hmm. People are like, all right, I'm going to crush it this year. Yeah. So they want to get out, they want to market, they want to do things. Yeah, they want to kick butt. So there's that excitement. So you're going to get more sales during that time. Then you're going to hit April and there's taxes are due. And now nobody has any money. So they're going, oh, I got to cut back my, all my expenses and try to pay my taxes. Mm-hmm. So you might have a dip there. And then you may have summer vacations where it's like, depending on what your business is, but it might be, all my clients are out vacationing with their families. So they're not buying right now from me. You have, of course, like Trevor talked about earlier, the holidays. Mm-hmm. The holidays may be a great time for you, but they may be a bad time for other businesses. So you have these ups and downs, and you can't really judge the marketing unless you go through all of those,
right?
And then look at the data. How did it work out over the entire year?
Yeah, and that's the thing is, so the name of this game today is, if you don't have a year's worth of data, you really didn't give it a test drive.
Right.
That's my opinion. And once we started, and remember, we didn't start there, obviously. That's not where our minds always were. But once we did that, and it was hard the first time, because we've been doing PPC for ourselves for years and years, and it's taken a lot to, really hone it in and get it good. But when we finally did that, we went, oh, wow, So when there's months that are ridiculous. I mean, there are months where it's like it costs us $300 to acquire a client, and there are months where, well, we almost had one where it was like $1,800. Now, luckily, that didn't happen, but we did have months where it was like $1,200. So $300 to $1,200 is a big jump.
Right.
However, over the 12-month period, it did well. Yeah. And we've done that for years, and we were happy with it. And so it's like, if we would have just gone, oh my gosh, we had a $1,200 a month, acquisition, cancel this. Right. We would have missed out on all of those clients that we would have had all the other months, as well as, the total number being what we wanted it to be.
Yeah. The other thing too, you got to look for is, results varied by competition. Mm-hmm. So, when it comes to marketing, you're going to have competitors that are going to join in, and that, especially in PPC, that's going to drive your cost up. And then you're going to have ones that finally drop out because they don't know how to do it right. And they are like, oh, screw this doesn't work. Yeah. So they go, boom, they're out. Yeah. So, but as those people come in and out, that's going to create and change your numbers and affect what it's actually costing you to acquire a customer.
But you can watch that with your PPC, especially, or your people who do it for you, because it would be funny. We have a company meeting. We have 2 company meetings a week, but one is specifically talks about marketing and all of our stuff and numbers. And so, Troy would be like, whoa, what the heck? And I would already know. I'd say, well, don't worry about it. You know what? This company popped in. All of a sudden, they're coming out of left field. I guarantee they'll be gone next month. And sure enough, they were. Or even throughout the month, they disappeared because they just went in hot, didn't know what they were doing, and then disappeared.
Yep, exactly. They didn't have consistent. They weren't consistent.
No, not at all.
Which worked out in our favor.
Heck yeah,
because they dropped out. So, those are some variations that you have to look at when it comes to the marketing. Trevor, why don't you talk about that client you mentioned earlier? That has come and gone.
Oh yeah. So we have a client who has returned to us for the 4th time. The 4th time. And now let me premise this. It's not that they weren't happy. They were happy and they were getting results.
Yeah.
But somebody would come in their door, some, slick salesman, sleazy slick salesman, that would be promising them the world. It was too enticing for them. And we would tell them, look, if there was more to be had, we would be getting it for you.
Yeah.
But over the years, this is the 4th time they've returned. And unfortunately, each time that they were, sold by these other slick people, it didn't work out, obviously. And so they would come back. And during that time, they would come back to us and they would say, oh my gosh, like in a month. Like one time it was a month. The first month they just crashed. Their phone stopped ringing. They stopped getting emails. They stopped getting form fills and all of that. No more leads were coming in. And so they came back. And that was the thing is, so if they would have just stayed with us consistently through the years, they would be so much bigger than they currently are and further along, because every time they came back, it was like starting the clock over. Because in marketing, unfortunately, it's, especially in PPC, it is 100% starting the clock over, but even with SEO and stuff, because it depends on what was the other company doing?
Yeah.
What did they do with the website? What did they do with the keywords? And are we talking about the keywords and the?
Yeah, at one point we actually looked at the last report that we sent them, and they had like 170 keywords ranking on the first page of Google. And then when they came back, we ran that same report, and they were down to 6 keywords on the first page of Google. Yeah. So huge hit. It was basically starting all over again, because they just weren't consistent in going with what was working. They thought, well, there must be something better, and they were wrong.
Exactly.
And it hurt the business.
And it's funny because they're growing like crazy. They are now, especially with us. They are growing like crazy, and so that's just the thing. Again, the point of this is people get anxious or they get sold on something better. If it sounds too good to be true, it is too good to be true, right?
Yep, exactly. So now let's talk about the next area. We talked about marketing. The other one we're going to talk about today, there's a lot of areas that you could focus on consistency in your business, but we're just going to talk about 2 today. The second one is going to be systems and procedures, because this is a place where I see people jump around all the time. So many business owners will purchase a new software, or they'll implement a new procedure in their business, and but then they'll stop it before they even have a chance to get any data and analyze whether it really worked.
Or fully implement it. That's another big thing.
Or fully implement.
They're like, well, this doesn't really do anything for me. Yeah, because you didn't actually implement it. I see that all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. That is one of the biggest things. Like I said, they're just inconsistent. If they get excited, as business owners, we get excited. Oh, shiny new toys, shiny new thing that's going to make our business grow. And we start it, but then we aren't consistent with it. And if we're not consistent with it, or maybe our employees aren't consistent with it, and we're not making sure that they're doing it, and so it just falls to the wayside. And then we're like, well, that didn't work.
Yep.
And it was not because the system didn't work. It was because there wasn't any consistency in our business. And that's the same thing for procedures in the business. So, it's the thing is that, I'm sure everyone's heard this before, but it takes about 30 days to create a habit, right? Good or bad. And it takes months to actually get enough data to make a decision. So if you want to change something in your business, if you want to change a habit in your business, you need to really push it and make it a habit for at least 30 days.
Yeah.
With employees, probably 60 to 90 days.
Oh, at least.
Because they don't care as much.
Well, it's like, here we are, new year coming up, and what's going to happen to the gyms? They're going to get full.
Yes.
And they're going to be full for about a month, maybe 2, and then it's going to go right back to normal again. And it's because people are not consistent in life. And you're not going to go work out once and then have this great body. You're not going to try one marketing strategy and blow up a company. Yeah. That's not going to happen. You have to be consistent, and I would say you have to be willing to persevere through. You have to have the grit to keep moving forward, even when you say, oh, I don't know that this is what I'm wanting, but you know what? I'm going to give it the time. I'm going to give it the time. And after, in my opinion, after a year, you can then truly look back on it and say that worked or that didn't work.
Yeah. And I'm going to add to it. You said, I'm going to give it the time. But I'm going to add to that and say, I'm going to give it the time and work.
Yeah. Focus.
And focus.
Yep.
for it to actually work.
Correct.
So, if you're implementing something new into your company, especially if you have employees, then you need to put things in place to make sure that it's actually going to happen. So there's a couple of things that you can do. We've seen this with a lot of our clients. One is create incentives. If you want your employees to do something new, if you want them to utilize a new system and take action, then put incentives in place to do that. Mm-hmm. I remember one of our clients, Five Guys Roofing. Mm-hmm. They were really looking for video reviews, and they would give their employees a $50 bonus for every video review they got. Yeah. And they had one of their employees who went crazy and he made a couple $1,000s a month off of just getting video reviews. Yeah. And it blew up their marketing. It was awesome. So incentives are a great way. Competition. A competition is another great way to get employees to do something long enough to create a habit in the company. So creating a competition is a great way to do it.
And I can't tell you how many times, speaking of employees, I've heard business owners say, I just can't get my guys to do that. Yeah. My guys will never do that. This is to help your business grow, which in turn helps them. Yeah. Like, what do you mean they'll never do that? Okay, fine. I understand. But you maybe need to just incentivize them, like what you're talking about. Yeah. Make it like awesome.
Yep. I'll give you an example of like the competition thing or a contest. Mm-hmm. I was looking at a dentist just the other day, and they actually, a client of ours, they had Sotellus previously. Mm-hmm. They stopped using Sotellus for about a year, and then they came back after a year because in between when they canceled their account and now, they got 0 reviews in 12 months.
So crazy.
Literally 0 reviews.
So crazy.
And so when they came back, I said, okay, we got to do something different. We want to make sure that you're getting the results, right? So there's got to be something that changes. So we talked to them about the competition. They started a competition, and in the first 30 days, they got 56 new reviews.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
0 to 56 in 30 days.
Yeah, so 0 in 12 months to 56 in 30 days. And the difference was they created a contest, and now they've created a habit with their employees to do it. Yep. And now it's an integral part of their system, of their entire business. Yep. Right? So another thing you can do is along the line of incentives is bonuses. Like I said, the one company was doing bonuses. You got a bonus every single time you got, a review. Another thing too is that people really enjoy is praise. Oh, yeah. Like if you have company meetings and you call out, hey, so everyone knows we've been doing this new thing and we have this new system in place. And, I just want to, highlight Bobby this week because he got 10 new reviews or whatever it might be, right? Whatever the system is that you're trying to utilize or procedure you put in place, acknowledge and praise people, and especially do it in front of the rest of the team. And that will make them feel really good. And it will make them want to work harder. And the ones who didn't get the praise are going to go, well, I'm going to do better,
People
right?
do, yeah.
I want to get that. So those are a couple of ways to help create consistency in your employees. All right. Anything else you want to go over, Trevor, before we get to the homework?
No, that's good. I think we hit the nail on the head, guys. So basically, name of the game, name of this story is give it the time, energy, and efforts that it deserves in order to truly test anything, whether that is marketing or employees or performance, projects, whatever that turns out to be, systems and programs. You can't just get it, set it, forget it, and then a year from now go, oh, that didn't work. Well, yeah, of course it didn't friggin' work. That was stupid. So, all right, guys, let's get into the homework, and then we'll leave you alone. We'll let you get to your day. Determine what you need to be more consistent with your business and put strategy in place to force it to happen. So whether that be with employees or systems, programs, or marketing, I think this should be a big eye-opener for you because I don't think most companies do not do what we're talking about here. No. They do not give things the time. They do not track it for months on end. A lot of companies will not go a year of tracking. No. I mean, they see 1 or 2 bad months and they're like, I'm done with that. That's just the dumbest thing because at the end of the year, if you say, well, that didn't really go as well as I'd wanted it to, that's okay. Then you've given it a year to really work on it. I mean, I am years into our PPC and making adjustments and doing things, you know, and so and it goes up and down all the time, you know. Right now, I'm dealing with more competitors and things like that. Prices are a little higher than I'd like them to be. That's okay. I'm going to keep working through it, and this next year we'll keep working through it. And then at the end of the year, if for some reason we can't get those prices down, then we'll make that decision. So we're in the same boat as you guys are.
Yep.
But it is something that we've been around so long, and we've seen so many companies crash and burn while we not just survived at times, but a lot of the time and most of the time thrived. You know, and that's what we really want for you guys as well. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much. We will see you guys on the next episode of So Tell Us Time. Please share this on your Facebook. Tell your friends about it. Jump on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube. It is fun being with you guys, and we will be here every week for you. We love you. We appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next episode.